My name is Jonathan Gunther. Today is September 21st, and this is for the FTT 221 week 3 assignment. We're going to be lapping and mounting a scope. First and foremost, obviously I don't have a vise or even a rifle at the moment, so this is the best that I could do. So we've got the Picatinny rail mounted to a cardboard box. Got the rings on there. So first things first, we're going to check the alignment of the rings. Take the two alignment bars, place one in each end, place them to where they are not quite connecting, and then I got these real loose, so I'm just going to tighten them down. I have them real loose, so I'm going to tighten them down. Making sure not to over tighten them. And then bear with me, this is not only a Torx bit, but it's also an Allen key, so it's kind of the worst of both worlds. Tighten the second screw on the second ring. And then, as you can see, they are pretty daggone close. From the top here, you can notice it looks like this ring is slightly to the right, going towards the camera. So it does need to have some lapping compound applied to it. We're going to go ahead and lap the rings. So first and foremost, loosen that, slide that out, set it to the side. And then obviously not an ideal surface, but we're working with what we got. Slide that out, set that off to the side. So we're going to take our lapping compound. This is going to be Wheeler 220 grit lapping compound. Probably recommend you use gloves for this, but again, working with what we got. So you're going to apply the lapping compound to the lower half of the scope ring, and then do the same on this one. It is probably significantly easier if you take the scope rings apart, but my hands don't work well. I don't like Torx bits, so for the sake of time, I'm not going to be doing that. Make sure it's pretty generously coated. Get that stuff off the finger, because I don't know how cancerous it is, but much like everything else in firearms world, probably not great for you. So, being as this is a very short section of rail, I'm going to be placing the handle in the end here just to make it easier to maneuver. So, slide that there. And just real back and forth. And then as more material is removed, you're going to try and tighten down the rings. You shouldn't have to put a whole lot of pressure, but just enough to So they were pretty well aligned, so they should be not too terribly out of alignment, so don't require a whole lot of lapping. So next, you're gonna wipe away the lapping compound. Make sure it's nice and clean. Again, in a real world setting, I'd have this in a vise and I would take the time to actually remove the top half of the ring. Okay, it popped right off there, so might as well. In the facade, we're just gonna roll with it. Clean up that lapping compound. So we're gonna pretend that's still mounted there, and then we're gonna recheck our alignment. The first alignment pin in, tighten it down. Oops. We're just gonna do one take here, so you know I'm not cheating. And also because I don't know how to edit videos. Loosen this one a hair. And again, they were basically right on before, but whatever variance there was where this one was skewed more to the right towards the camera, looks like we were able to get that corrected. So now that we've verified that it is still in alignment, we are going to take the scope rings completely off, and we're going to mount the scope and verify that it's level. So set that aside. And then I always try and keep the ring halves together, and if I had a rifle to mount it on, I would mark which side's front and which is rear, just to make sure that if I do ever remove the rifle or remove the optic, that just makes it easy to zero. Alright, so got a bit ahead of myself here. I don't know why I was thinking that would work. So again, keeping them together, we're going to place the optic, one that was provided for the class. We're going to place it right in there. And then if I was in a gunsmithing shop, I would 110% invest in one of those little electric drivers. because this is not a great time. And then same deal, I would typically, in a real world scenario, I would use a torque reader as well to make sure I get it down to, torque down to whatever the manufacturer requirements are. I believe if it's anything like every other Vortex that I've used, it should be around 15 inch-pounds. But again, that's not a part of the assignment, and I don't have a torque reader, so I'm just going until tight. Alright. And there you go. Again, never mind the unstable platform here, but there we go. It is lapped and aligned, and the optic is mounted. Thank you.